So it looks like Mark Carney is being continually exposed. We all know about the election campaign lies, the elbows up. 91% of his investments are with the United States, but he's supposed to play hardball with Trump. Now we figure that most likely the deal that we do get with the United States is going to include tariffs. He lied the whole way through his campaign. He's lying the whole way after. $92 billion he's going to spend this year, which is more than Trudeau unless you include COVID. But without COVID, that's even worse than Trudeau. Even worse than Trudeau. I repeat, even worse than Trudeau. A lot of people still don't understand that yet, but they will in a short time, and unfortunately we're all going to suffer because of it. But I do have a video here from Mark Carney from Brian Lilley exposing Mark Carney even further, and it's called Taking a Deeper Dive into Mark Carney's Investments. How much longer can Mark Carney survive if he's going to be exposed like this? Or will the liberal Canadian sheep just continue to listen to him and continue to believe him and therefore continue to vote for him? I guess we'll have to see. Now, before we get into this video from Brian Lilley, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps grow the channel, and I appreciate you guys doing that for me. So let's get into this, and then we'll have a talk about it after, like usual.
Taking a deeper dive into Mark Carney's investments. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the Toronto Sun. Mark Carney has spent the past number of years telling us all that, well, oil and gas, these were bad industries. We needed to get out of them. Here's what he said at the Global Conference on Climate Change, COP26 in Glasgow a few years ago.
Maybe up as much as half of oil reserves, proven reserves, need to stay in the ground if we're going to get to where we are.
At that conference, Carney...
Weird, huh? But he invests in pipelines all over the world, America, Brazil, etc. But not in Canada. And Pierre's exposed him for this in the past as well. But again, these liberal Canadians and even a lot of swing voters just didn't listen. And a lot of people decided, hey, I'm going to stay home and not vote because this doesn't matter. I think you all might regret that decision.
On with Michael Bloomberg, the former mayor of New York and founder of Bloomberg, by the way, teamed up and started a group called GFANZ, the Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero. This was a group that was going to try and get banks out of funding oil and gas. They didn't want financing to go to new oil projects, to new pipelines, to fracking. And yet, when we look at the list of companies that Mark Carney was invested in before he turned it all over to a blind trust, now we don't know what's going on, it's filled with these. You can just look through the list and find the names. Chevron, ConocoPhillips, Marathon, Occidental. These are major American, keyword American, oil and gas companies. They're into drilling for oil, refining oil, pipelines. They are the backbone of the system that he wanted to go. So on the one hand, he's saying that we need to leave oil and gas in the ground. And he's also part of a group that's trying to stop banks from lending money to these types of companies for new projects. And yet he's heavily invested in them. There's another company
Isn't
called...
that weird? Is that what he meant by elbows up? And all you dummies who believed it, is that what you guys meant? Elbows up, going after America, playing hardball with them. Meanwhile, as soon as he gets in office, he removes the retaliatory tariffs. Just one day before he meets Trump, which he lied about doing. And now we find out he's heavily invested in something apparently he doesn't even like, in America. But he won't invest in our oil. And now he's prime minister. He kind of flip-flops on the pipeline idea. Like you saw earlier in the video when he said we need to leave the gas in the ground. Or the oil in the ground, rather. But he's, I'm open to pipelines. And then he says another thing. Like, he just keeps contradicting himself. Weird, huh? But elbows up, I guess?
Pantera. Now, why is this company of interest? Well, because they're big into natural gas. Carney has several energy companies in the natural gas sector, including liquefied natural gas, that he is invested in order to make himself and his family wealthier, while trying to say that we shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be fracking. Pantera is big into the Marcellus Shale Basin. This is an area that stretches from New York State down through Pennsylvania and into West Virginia. An awful lot of fracking going on in this area, and Pantera is at the heart of all of this. Fracking is something that liberals have been saying needs to stop for years. It's the type of thing the Brantford boomers that went out and voted for Carney would protest against in their Birkenstocks. And here he is fully invested in it. There's a whole chapter in his book, Values, about ESG investing, social investing, and how you need to not invest in these types of companies. And yet there he is. What kind of values does Mark Carney actually have? It appears they are malleable. He is a shapeshifter, and it will depend on the moment. It's not what you were expecting from this guy, was it? Or maybe you were. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below. Share this on...
Oh, it's exactly what I was expecting. It wasn't really a big shock. I mean, it was kind of funny having those investments being exposed. But was it a shock when you found out that 91% of his investments were based in America? It's shocking that people believe this guy. It's shocking the nerve this dude has. But then again, if I'm a liberal leader, I'm going to lie too. You know why? Because they keep getting away with it. They keep winning elections. So why would they change? Why would they stop being corrupt? Why would they stop being hypocrites? They haven't been punished for it. The liberal party of this country is not held accountable. Conservatives are. I can't imagine what would happen if Pierre Poilievre brought in a Nazi and applauded him in the parliament. Well, when Trudeau did it, and Karina Gould involved heavily in it, she won her seat by a lot. But every time Donald Trump says something mean, or if Pierre Poilievre says something mean, or a conservative says something mean, we're a bunch of fascists. Well, we know that's not true. We know those people who were in Nazi paraphernalia at the Freedom Convoy weren't actually Nazis. And we know this because if they were, the whole entire Liberal cabinet would have showed up and gave them a standing ovation. They would have gave them a whole standing ovation. That's how you know where the real Nazis are, I guess. The Conservatives never would have gotten away with that. They would lose official party status if they did that. Liberals do it? Nope. Vote them in. Trudeau's gone. Okay, problems must be fixed. That's how simple-minded these people are. They don't get it. And now we all have to suffer because of it. Made the argument many times, I'll make it again. Not everyone should be voting. I had one lady tell me that she's not voting for Pierre Poilievre because he's going to take away her right to choose, even though Trudeau literally did that during the mandates. And there's no evidence to suggest that Pierre Poilievre is going after abortion. And even if he did, even if he wanted to, even if the Conservatives somehow won all 343 seats, they could not do anything about it. This was solved in the Supreme Court case in 1988. It's done. The laws aren't changing whether you like them or not. And that person got to basically cancel out my vote. Is that fair? Of course not. No, there are also people who are dumb who vote conservative for the Conservatives too. Most people shouldn't be voting. Now, who should vote? Well, that's a whole different argument. We can get into that. Let me know what you think about that, by the way. Do you think everyone should vote? And if not, who do you think should vote? Like people in the military? Are there other groups? Should it just be people in the military? It's an interesting question. It's an interesting topic. Please let me know what you think. And also let me know if you think that if Mark Carney can continually being exposed like this, if he can continue to survive. I predicted after the election we're going to see another one within a year and a half, 2 years. But some people said 6 months or a year. Also, let me know what you think about that. It's very interesting. I'm still sticking to my guns saying that it's going to be a year and a half, 2 years. I don't think it's going to take nearly the same amount of time as Justin Trudeau had, as he inherited a country that was in good shape. Mark Carney inherited a mess. He doesn't have that long to clean it up. And after 6 months, a year, 2 years, people are going to start figuring it out. And then maybe we can get the change that we all want and that we all deserve. But either way, let me know what you think in the comments section. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back shortly with a new one.